Hello, you're listening to Questboard, a podcast where we make up random scenarios. My name is Brandon.
And I'm Tiffany. And just so you know, we are not professional writers in any way, shape, or form. At least we don't claim to be. We just really like tabletop RPGs and we do this for fun.
And we are back with another party starter.
Woo!
I said last time that I really like this new style of us trying to just think of a way to get the party together. Hopefully, we don't have another hangover event and we can come up with something more original.
All D&D is now the hangover.
I mean, if you think about how many times we just reference movies,
Media is fun.
I mean, that's where we draw our inspiration.
Yes. There's a lot of inspiring movies out there.
Okay, let's see what movie we're copying with this one. You got dice?
I got them. I got 58.
58. Okay. The surrounding areas are all suffering an extreme drought, but this town is having a massive harvest festival. Different rumors intrigue each member enough to make a trip.
Ooh.
Okay, I think this is like us carrying just a start, like a quest.
Yeah.
Like quest board would be.
Yes, but it's the start quest.
Yeah. I think this one's a good one just to make a general quest and like we start off with how would the party meet each other.
Yeah. So something different for each character has brought them to town. Do we want to come up with a number of rumors that could be possibly passed to each character individually?
I feel like that would be the game master to fit in with each player's backstory.
Okay.
I think the
Yes.
rumor or like what ties them to want to go there is up to them. I think we set up the premise of when they meet together
Okay.
and then how would that like lead them to solving whatever issue we're having here.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
So everywhere else is having a drought, but this town isn't. They've had a
Yeah.
bountiful harvest and they're throwing a festival. Or they had a terrible harvest, but they're throwing the festival anyway.
Also, don't forget, this is party starters, so I mean start of the campaign, so I'm gonna say low level kind of.
Oh, this is level 1 stuff. Yeah.
I'm just saying like we're not gonna I don't want us to do like super like world ending stuff, you know? That's later
Of
in the
course
campaign.
not. Yeah, so this
You
is
gotta start small.
this is super easy mode, I guess, would be a way to put it.
Well, I would say just like this is small town stuff. Like this
Yeah,
issue will only be within this area.
right.
It's not like a huge impact on the world.
This isn't a worldwide event, it's just this town.
So that means we can't put a Tarask in here. I'm sorry.
No Tarask. Noted.
No Krakens either.
Okay, fine. So it says the surrounding areas are all suffering an extreme drought. So it's not just this town that's being like, that is the effect. It's the towns around it as well.
Yeah.
But why is this one town able to have their harvest party? So somehow they have bountiful water?
I think that what's screaming to me is if they have a festival, maybe it's like a cult kind of thing where they're magically or something making deal with like demons or anything to get the water to basically have a harvest.
Dealing with water demons?
Is that a thing? I don't know.
I don't know.
But it could be just a selling your soul to the devil for a deal kind of concept.
Definitely could be.
In which then it could be the party fights like low level warlocks, basically.
Yeah. Like just like warlocks that are just kind of figuring out how to be a warlock.
Yeah, because they just did it this year.
What if the whole town has sold their souls? Like everyone has that debt.
Oh my god. Okay, now I'm just thinking like, what happens if this is like a midsummer Sweden kind of creepy thing? I I find that just horrific. Like it's really disturbing to me.
Okay.
Like the small town like village vibe where it's just super happy and like I don't fully trust it.
Oh yeah, those are always so creepy. When everyone's just like, "Hi, how are you?" And it's a wonderful day out, isn't it? It's like you almost instantly know something's wrong here.
This is a cult.
It's a cult.
There's something wrong. Yeah, they're sacrificing
Like
foreigners.
no one is that happy. Come on. I don't know. Some people can be that happy.
No, impossible.
They just ignore everything else going on around them.
Now you're just talking about the game We Happy Few.
I have not played it.
Okay. Well, the game premises around people taking joy pills. And then when you take
Oh.
joy pills, you actually, the world changes around you. And it's very much more vibrant and like bright and happy.
Sunshine, butterflies.
But then when it wears off, you actually see the grueling, disgusting world how it is.
That kind of reminds me of the Meet the Pyro video from Team Fortress 2.
That I do not know that one.
It's pretty much exactly what you've described.
Maybe that's where We Happy Few got its inspiration. I don't know.
Or vice versa. You never know. I don't know which came first.
I don't know either.
Okay, so we have. Do you want to make it that extremely we're all happy here, creepy town? Maybe, maybe in the act of selling their souls, in reality, what they don't realize they're doing is they're actually giving up their bodies to be inhabited by the devils.
Oh, it's a possession thing?
Living out their fantasy of being in, like, they're essentially playing D&D with these people's bodies. They are living out their fantasy in their bodies.
Now I'm just okay. Now I'm picturing like cut to the plains of hell where there's 5 demons sitting around a table. One's got like behind the boards, like,
Oh my gosh.
okay,
Playing,
the festivity is going on. Your NPC is doing this, and then someone else chimes up.
what is it, playing villagers and farms?
Yeah. Uh,
Oh gosh.
God, just 5 nerdy demons.
I mean, that's what it could be. It could be demons that just want to live like people. And so they're stealing these people's souls, essentially stealing these people's bodies, and just having a good life.
I thought they were supposed to be more chaotic and evil and all that stuff.
I mean, not everything's evil. No, I mean, they could be. They could be doing something shady in the background. Also, somehow the plants are growing better, so we need to figure that part out too.
I think that's just like greater power when they sell their soul. Oh, well, okay. What happens if it's not like everyone's possessed, but they're all worshippers of like a demon?
Okay.
And so the demon is their Patreon.
Okay.
Not Patreon, patron.
Yeah,
Wow.
Patreon's a website.
Yes.
Similar concept though.
Subtle hints. I need to set up that before this episode comes out. So they worship him. And so
Okay.
they're still people.
Maybe the temple for this creature being whatever doesn't necessarily have to be a demon. It could be like a water spirit of sorts. Maybe it's like at the top of a hill, and because it resides there, water continuously flows out and makes the land around this hill fertile.
Oh, okay. Let's go a little bit dark route. I like that. Okay, going back to the whole midsummer kind of thing.
Gotcha.
They sacrifice tourists to the water spirit.
Okay, that part's fun. So they're holding a festival to attract tourists.
No, they holding like their usual festival, but it's
Yes.
just like let's say the water spirit in that area became very vengeful or anything like that and started like causing this drought within this whole region. But that one town decided to make a deal with it by just giving it sacrifices.
Or maybe, if we turn that around a little bit, the town was already on hard times and they made a deal with the spirit to bring them more water. What they don't realize is where it's getting the water from is all the area around the town. So in reality, they are causing this drought, making times much harder for everyone else just to have their crops fare a little bit better than they normally would.
Oh, I like that because they still have the ignorance is bliss kind of thing where they're still thinking that everything's fine or it's in positives.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that they're actually causing harm.
Right. And like without the spirit bringing them the extra water or extra life-giving water, whatever it could be, they would just have a normal harvest. Like it wouldn't have been hard times for them. They're just being greedy.
But then how, like, they should hear about the droughts in the surrounding area though, right?
Maybe they've decided to turn a blind eye to it, or a deaf ear, I guess. A blind ear. Yes, that's the name of our tavern.
You're gonna go with that?
I'm joking.
No, we can make it the Blind Ear Tavern. That's where the party meets.
That could literally be like a hint, almost.
No, I think that's just a Easter egg about how you screwed up a phrase.
Okay, yeah, that's an Easter egg about how I can't word right. I'm fine with that. I
Words are
don't word
hard.
right most times. Yeah, words are fun. The picture over the sign for the illiterate, because back in the olden days they did pictures all the time, will be a drawing of an ear wearing an eye patch.
I did not think you were like that was the route you were gonna say.
Really? What do you think I was going for?
I thought it was gonna be just an ear with just a scratched out X over it.
Oh, no, eye patch.
No, that's more punny.
Yeah. I mean, I could go the more grotesque route and have the earlobe actually have an eyeball on it, but the iris of it is all like hazy because it looks blind. I thought of that too, but I figured the eye patch was funnier.
Also, that's hard to etch in a wooden sign.
You could use some paint.
Paint's expensive, especially for a small village.
Not when you have a bountiful harvest.
Well, this is the first year.
Oh, okay, this is the first year it's happening.
Yeah, that's why it's the phenomenon.
Gotcha.
Oh, maybe no, this is the second year. No, never mind. Because this is what's causing the drought. I was gonna say this is the second year of the drought in which then they go for them, but no, this is what's causing the drought, so it has to be the first year.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we gonna say like everyone's in on it, but then they turn a blind eye to it? Or are they just deniers?
I think they're just deniers. They're like, "Oh, no, the weather's been great. Everything's fine. The other towns can't be having a drought. That's not real." They're totally like,
We're only getting a little extra water. We're not getting that much extra water to cause a drought for everyone else.
"Yeah, there's no way what we did could have caused this."
So then what if so how would they react when like the party members talk about it?
Like, "Oh, the drought?
Yeah,
There is no war in Ba Sing Se." No.
that's your answer to everything.
Yes. They could be like, "Huh, weird," and then just go on with their lives.
Oh, they might be just exaggerating.
Yeah, it's just like, "Oh, nah, those rumors are exaggerated." But when the party's like, "I literally came through that area. It's like a desert out there." They're like, "Ah, it's just that region. It's just fine."
I saw tumbleweeds. That's not even a
Yeah?
thing in this country.
It's like, it wasn't even actually a tumbleweed. It was just a regular bush, but it was dead.
They could just say, "Oh, those villages are trying to get like money aid from the baron or the like from the kingdom. They're just lying."
Yeah, they're lying and then their crops are dead. Anyway, but yeah, no matter how much the party tries to convince people in town that something's up, they're like, "Everything's fine. Eat some carrots."
Or maybe like if they keep bringing it up to like same groups of people, then they get more and more agitated.
Yeah, and maybe then, like, I don't know, the county sheriff comes up and is like, "Hey, stop it."
Well, your great accents.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a good one. That was just me saying, "Stop it."
That sound like just horrible stereotypical Western sheriff, Wild
Yeah.
West sheriff. Okay, so
Sorry, I'm trying to wrap my brain around doing a Western accent right now, and honestly, it's not coming. It's just brain farting left and right.
well, I'm not gonna try because I suck at accents. But everyone's in on it, and let's say the should we name the village?
Oh, right. Name the village. Merryville.
Mary. Okay, that was
I'm pretty
easy.
sure that's like a game or something.
I think that's generic enough. That's been in so many games.
Yeah.
Do you want to say Maryville is in charge? Like who's running, or like is there a council that runs it?
I always like throwing in a town mayor so I could do my town mayor voice.
And what's your town mayor voice?
Welcome to Merryville. Let me get you settled in. Something along those lines. Yeah.
Sounds like the leader of a circus group.
Yeah. Yeah. I usually get along those lines. Usually, my imagining of the town mayor is quite fat, just jolly as all get out, but that could be hiding deceptive undertones. You never know.
And his assistant is a very old elf that's like maybe 50 years away from actually getting to like the max age.
Oh, wow.
And he's like just giving up on life kind of thing, like personality.
It's like, I've seen everything there is to see. I'm done.
Oh, yes, sir.
That's fun. So, what is our mayor's name? Do you want the mayor to be a man or a woman?
I think if we're gonna do one, your voice
Oh, yeah.
that you already gave him, and two, the stereotypical, just like the mayor's usually a guy.
Gotcha. So, let's see. Find a good name on my random name generator. Let's go with Elliot Watson.
Okay, that works, Elliot.
Yeah.
So he's in charge, like, of the. Is he the one who sold his soul?
Feel like he would be. It's like it's always no, it should be the assistant.
The elf.
Because everyone's gonna suspect the mayor.
Okay, but what if, like, then it turns to the point where then the system is planning on betraying everyone because he's sick of his job?
There you go. He's just tired of everything, just done with the world, just trying to do something interesting.
Oh, make him a wood elf? And this entire plain or village used to be forest.
Oh, is he trying to like destroy the town?
That's just like, this is my vengeance.
There you go. Maybe the villagers chop down his favorite tree or something.
No, I'm saying like where it's just like they cleared out all these like the forest
Gotcha.
to make the village and farmland.
So is this just a poison ivy moment?
I don't know the backstory poison ivy.
It's usually like people start destroying the forest and she gets mad and comes and destroys them. She uses the forest to destroy them.
I did not know that was the backstory for that villain. I don't read comics.
Trying to remember her like actual name, but yeah, she was a researcher. I'm gonna look that up and I will tell you about it later. For the rest of you listeners, feel free to Google Poison Ivy if you don't already know her story.
Or you could record it and then I'll insert it right here.
Poison Ivy is a misanthropic botanist and biochemist who possesses a poisonous touch, enhanced physical abilities, and a supernatural control over plant life. Empowered by the interplanetary force known as the Green, she uses her powers for the purposes of eco-terrorism.
So she's Captain Planet.
Yes, but evil.
Hopefully you did that and I put that in.
We'll see how that works.
But anyways, back to the story.
Yes. So it could be that kind of situation where, so yeah, forest was destroyed to build this town, and this.
Do you want to do that, or is it just like
Eh,
he's sick of the administrative duties?
maybe he's just sick of the mayor.
So he wants to overthrow the mayor, even though everyone is aware about the dealings with the demon?
Hmm. Hmm. I feel like the mayor would be oblivious.
Oh, he's the ignorance is bliss leader.
Yeah. He's just completely oblivious to all this.
He's just dumb.
He thinks, yes, he thinks it's just really prosperous times. What he doesn't realize is that everyone else knows that,
Oh, he thinks the harvest is good and there's no drought because his citizens are so hardworking.
yeah.
Oh god, I feel sorry for him now. He's just the himbo idiot.
He totally is. I got a name for our elf.
Okay.
So Ayan, it's Aayyan, last name Archer.
And he's not an archer.
He might be an archer, you never know.
No, he's a warlock now.
Warlocks can be archers.
Okay, D&D 5th edition. Drink. I don't think they are proficient in martial weapon.
Could be one level into ranger, or you could have started out as a ranger and then.
Oh wait, no. Does the race also grant you the proficiency? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
But anyways,
Anyway, he could have multi-leveled,
maybe, yeah. Even though this is for a level 1 party.
so maybe he's a level 2.
Okay, he's the big baddie, sort of. What is gonna be the flow of events? I think we should
Okay.
try start there.
All right.
Now we have somewhat of an end goal, or at least we know who the baddie is.
Right. So, Harvest Festival. Maybe, I don't know, typical Harvest Festival things. Pie eating contests, apple bobbing.
Everyone's overly happy.
Everyone's obnoxiously happy.
And if
Various fair related mini games that you can have your characters take part in, win small prizes at, like trinkets and things, like a really cool fan or something.
have a lying contest.
Oh yeah, you can totally have a lying contest. Those are fun.
Talk about the granny who made the cake.
Apparently I oversold the granny who made the cake.
We've referenced that in past episodes. Go find it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Listen to the rest of our stuff.
but yeah, if you ever bring up the drought during the now, if you bring up even like keep pushing it, then they're gonna get agitated.
Yeah.
Do enough that to enough people, you're gonna be sternly warned by the guards.
Right. Have the guards like approach you and be like, "Hey, if you keep causing discourse and like stuff in our town, you're going to get kicked out. So, drop it or leave."
The party meets each other at the Blind Ear Tavern
Yes.
or Inn.
Maybe in.
Blind Ear Inn. That sounds a little bit better.
It does.
So they meet each other there. They're the only ones, like maybe.
It's like the only inn that actually has rooms open, let's say. So they're trying to find rooms. It's the only one that has openings because everyone's gathered here.
But if they ever talk to fellow tourists or outsiders, they agree that's like it's a little bit weird. There is a
Oh, yeah.
drought going on.
Yeah, stuff's weird. But hey, lots of food here.
Maybe some tourists are like ignore that fact because there's like bountiful food or anything like that.
Yeah. Maybe there's something about the food that makes you kind of feel a little bit wistful, even like something like because the water that has made this food grow so well comes from whatever this being is. Maybe that makes you feel a little too extra happy or a little bit too forgetful about what everything else outside is like. So the more they eat,
I just described We Happy Few.
I know.
You're basically describing that now to the T.
Okay. So, just saying.
So you think like Okay, so you're saying this demon is also just drugging the people?
Essentially, making them content and happy to continue to worship.
Oh, okay, wait, hang on.
Or not worship, but, like, to continue to offer sacrifices and stuff.
Well, okay. I just have a way to like play off of that. If that's the case, let's say the party like meets other tourists and all that stuff, and they're like weirded out or anything like that.
Mhm.
But then like the next day, the same people they talk to that's like this is weird or anything like that, they start acting like them because they're
Yes.
eating the food.
Yes.
And then that would totally creep them out.
And maybe after so many instances of eating the food, they have to make, like, some sort of constitution check or something along those lines.
Wisdom saves because it's
Wisdom
mind
save, some
affecting.
sort of save. Yeah.
But I would hate to cause the first level party to start
It
being, like, brainwashed, though.
it would be a really easy save because it's just minute amounts in the food because this creature, whatever it is, has only just started its, like, long-term conquer plan. And the people that live in the town eat this food all the time. So, like, they're fully under its control. And, like, if the party members actually kinda notice, "Hey, wait a sec, why are we making these saves?" Like, maybe they'll stop eating the food, and that will, save them. 'Cause you already know they're gonna be skeptical about everything.
Okay, and I think that'll be a perfect, like, excuse for them to band together.
Yeah.
So then where do we go from there?
I feel like there should be an incident that gives them a reason to initially band together, like, they have to fight as a unit, like, something that causes them to have to, like, maybe not fight, but, like, work together.
I thought the reason for them to come into this town is to investigate, so the reason to band together is to get to the bottom of what's going on in this weird town.
They weren't necessarily there to investigate, different rumors have brought them to town. So they all have a different reason to be there. And they just all happen to notice, hey, wait a sec, everyone here's way too happy.
Okay, so how would you get them together then?
Yeah, I hadn't thought that far, I just thought there should be a reason.
Thinking's hard, okay?
Thinking's hard.
It's not like we do this for a podcast or anything.
Yeah, I know, right? Just like on the spot recording right there. That would be hard.
To be honest, I can't think of anything of like after them meeting in the tavern.
I mean, it could be like you could literally just direct them to say, hey, there's only one inn in town that has rooms. Okay, cool. They only have one open table. Y'all have to sit together. Now talk.
I think for most like tabletop RPG groups, they know that's like, hey,
They know they need to eventually drift together.
unless one of them is playing a like edgy rogue that wants to sit in the dark corner by themselves, but you could kick them from the group because that's not really a team player.
Yeah, no, I'm in a campaign with someone like that who I think we pretty much just were like, hey, you look cool, come with us. And he's like, okay.
At least they said okay. That's
Yeah.
the thing. They have to like it could be done right, but a lot of people. But then again, go on r/RPG horror stories. They want to continue with the dark edge and all this and that. And it's like it's not a fun character for everyone else.
Not necessarily, no.
When you have to force them or anything like that, no, they have to find a reason to join the party or want
Yep,
to be with other people, or else why are you even playing this game?
right. And I guess our reasoning for this town is why is everyone so happy? Don't eat the food.
Yeah, there's something going on. Let's investigate, gang.
Yeah. So, okay. So the weirdness of the town is what brings them together. And the next day, noticing, a person they thought was going to be a cool NPC that gets to join their party just is fully indoctrinated into the weirdness that's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
But then where do we go from there?
Um,
Is it like natural for them to just find out like go to the leaders, like the mayor kind of thing?
typically, I mean, yeah.
So okay, maybe this will help because I did say like, oh, let's then do turn events since we know the actual big baddie now,
Yes.
but we already hit our first roadblock. So let's try a different angle.
Nice.
How is the demon producing water for everyone? Like, how is that
Okay.
working?
So this, I guess we're making it a like water demon of sorts.
Or just a demon that has the power to actually do this?
Hmm. Well, I thought of something a little gross. So the demon, if it is a water demon, could just produce water constantly, as in it literally just sweats it out.
Okay. When you're like, "Oh, when you said, 'Oh, this is gonna be gross,' and you're like, 'Oh, it's a water, so it produces it,' my mind went a little bit more gross."
Yeah, I didn't wanna go that gross. I figured sweat was gross enough.
Have you seen those fountains
They're
where
just like,
where where
"Bleh."
it shows, like, a kid and the stream is
Oh,
coming out?
yes. My grandma used to have one of those in
That's
her
where
pool.
my mind went when you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it produces it." I'm like, "Are you saying he's pissing the water out?"
Not that kind of I'm thinking he's just literally sitting in, like, a basin or something somewhere with, like, like, a spout that comes off of it, and it's just pouring out of there, and as long as he's sitting in that basin, the water continually pours. It is
Okay.
just
1,
from
I don't
him.
know if I want these party members to fight demon. I thought it was just gonna be like the leader who sold his soul. 2, when you described that, I thought of, remember the Vampire Gym Bros episode?
Yeah.
So imagine like the 80s workout and then that demon is on a treadmill with that outfit on,
Oh my gosh.
just sweating
Just
the
sweating
water.
away. Well, see, the point of this entire exchange is it needs to be a good exchange for the demon. They need to get something out of it.
Yeah, but the demon being stuck in a room to sweat the water for the entire crops, I don't know if that's a
I'm
good deal.
thinking the demon is just lounging there. It naturally produces this much water, and the people of the village are bringing it bountiful foods and things for it to eat.
Okay. Side note, I don't want to rain on this too much, but if it produces it, then wouldn't cause a drought on the other areas.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah, good point. Maybe it doesn't just naturally produce it. Maybe,
I think if like
fine.
if he made a deal with like a greater demon and he just uses his like worldly powers just to like suck and pull the liquids or water from the surrounding regions to the center point, which is
Okay,
that town.
new thought, dropping the sweating demon idea. Um, the greater demon that this guy has made a deal with has given him a gem. It's like a blue crystal of a sort. And as long as it sits in that fountain, same one I'm describing, water pours from it. What they don't know is where it's getting the water from it, which is all the area around.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
So let's
So no
say,
sweating demon, it's a crystal.
okay, a little bit more serious and less comical. I'm sorry for anyone
That's
who was hoping for that.
fine. I'll
But
bring back the sweaty demon, don't you guys
oh
worry.
god, this is your new fixation.
Yep.
But let's say, okay, I like that. Whereas, like, if you put in the crystal, in a fountain or like a well or something like that, it
Oh, yeah, in the
basically
bottom of the
the
well.
the magic just pulls the water from the water table underneath the ground on all surrounding areas just towards it, and that's
I
what's
like the
causing the
whole
drought.
I like the bottom of the well idea because then that lets you throw in a, shout out to Tears of the Kingdom here, a cool well dungeon that you could have where they climb down the well and there's just, like, this water dungeon down there, which is a bunch of caves and stuff, and then they can go and find the crystal.
I still need to play that.
Jump down the well.
I still need to play the first game, Breath
Okay,
of the
well, don't
Wild.
I don't think you can jump down the wells in that one, but in Tears of the Kingdom, jump down the well. All of you out there, jump down the well. All of them.
In game, not in real life. In
No,
game.
not in real life. In real life, if you find a well, do not jump inside of it, you may die.
Who finds wells nowadays besides in Europe?
My parents have one in their front yard.
A legit, like, old time well?
No, it's not an old-timey well, it's a newfangled well. It
Those
draws
don't
water up
count.
with electricity.
Yeah,
But
that doesn't
hey,
count.
they've got the best water, though.
But they can't
It's so
jump
good.
down it. I'm talking
I'm
about,
a
like,
water snob because of that.
uh,
Moving on.
you're gonna turn into a water demon soon, and you just get sweat pure water, spring water.
That'd be great, and then I'd have water all the time.
Okay, so the going back, well, just go back. Back on track. Uh, gem in the well.
Gem
Perfect.
in the well.
That means that, that would cause them to have to go down there, maybe doing some just, like, swimming, I guess,
Right.
to
You could throw some
extract
rats
it
in there for, something for them to fight.
underwater? Or you're actually talking about, like, an actual cave system?
Yes.
Because if you just drop a well down the, drop a
Drop
gem
a
down
well down the well.
there's my new shirt,
Mhm.
next to the, blind ear shirt. Drop the gem down the well. I feel like then because it's swelling and pulling all the water, that well's gonna be full.
That's true. So, what is it then gonna be, like, just a huge lake that they fall into and they have to swim?
No, it's just a well. They have to somehow get to the bottom of a well with like full of water, which
Alright. That's gonna be really difficult for first level characters.
I I think so, but I pretty sure they could find like a workaround, maybe magic or using a contraption try to get it.
What I was thinking was like an underground river system where it's like a cave, but there's a river flowing through it. And since it's been going so fast for so long, or since it's been going for a long time even, there's actually banks on the side of it because the river has started wearing its way down through the cave. So there's actually like places for them to walk if they go down there.
Okay.
And they need to find the crystal, which would presumably be upriver somewhere. So all they got to do is follow the river. But there's probably like little offshoots here and there.
I'm trying to think
Missing
if
it.
this is like at the bottom of well is a cave, but the gem is upriver from the entrance of the cave, which is the well that the elf supposedly dropped the gem in.
Maybe he went down there and placed it so it wouldn't just like get, carried away by the river. Presumably the well was like, the river was low.
Or maybe how about this? Like, let's say that this village is somewhat on a hillside,
Okay.
and the elf put the gem like on the highest point of the hill, like on a shrine or something like that,
Okay.
to put the like store the water inside the mountain kind of thing to make it more abundant,
Right.
water plentiful kind of thing.
Okay.
When the party discovers about it and all this and that, they'll go and retrieve it to stop it to save the drought for everyone else, and that's when the elf will confront them, and that's where they'll have the fight
Okay.
before grabbing the gem.
Yeah. In like the gem chamber or
Okay,
something.
I think that to me makes a lot more sense.
Okay.
I'm sorry for like shutting down the whole cave idea.
I mean, I like caves.
I know, but it like for some reason I cannot wrap my mind around it.
You need to play Tears of the Kingdom.
Maybe I do. Maybe that's my problem. Everyone who's like played it and like is listening to this now in the future, they're just gonna be yelling at me for being an idiot who can't understand what you're going for. And I am sorry. I'm stupid. You
Nah,
should know this by now.
you just don't know. You don't know any better.
You know, I'm the mayor. I'm
There you go.
ignorant. I'm just the mayor. I'm ignorant. Okay, so we have that. We have the
Mhm.
actual final scene then.
It's the final scene.
I thought you were gonna go with the actual music, like the instruments afterwards. There we
Of
go.
course. Yeah.
How are the okay, so how is the party going to find out about the crystal or the gem that's pulling water?
Maybe after talking to someone about like, "Hey, so, how's your town suddenly so, prosperous?" They'll get into like, "Oh, I don't know, just, suddenly the well started really putting out," you know? They could find someone that knows that the well suddenly has more in it, it seems.
We do the bait and switch. We drop hints that make it sound like it's the mayor,
Oh.
but then they find out it's the mayor's assistant. So they could talk about how the mayor went to find help or anything like that, or
Mhm.
like came back from a trip
Oh, right.
and where the mayor and the assistant went, but then they just talk about the mayor
Right,
going,
right.
but the assistant always has to go with the mayor.
Mhm. So everyone would probably just say, "Oh, yeah, the mayor went on a trip," and, like, actually just leave the assistant out because he's not worth mentioning.
Yeah, because they know it's just like the assistant's just naturally with them. So
Yeah,
mayor's
so,
gone,
like,
so he's
they
with them.
forget to mention him.
Yeah. And he goes visits somewhere and comes back with like things. How do we phrase it to make it sound like he came back with demonic things
Mm.
with it still sounding innocent or it could be viewed innocently.
He went to another town and talked to I I don't really wanna say priests, but he talked to, like, the priests there, and they gave him a prayer to say, and he came back and said the prayer over the well, but that didn't actually do anything.
Or maybe it did.
Maybe it did do a little, or maybe they gave him a charm.
Oh yeah, we could like have a switcheroo of like the mayor has the charm, like a necklace or something like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then he like they believe it's like the act of the gods or anything like that.
So that's why everyone's just so happy because they believe that it's an act of goodwill from a benevolent god who
And
is helping them.
yeah, but then they're kind of denying the fact that like, oh, then in the back of their minds, they think, okay, the gods have blessed us, or a specific god has blessed us,
Right.
but is punishing the regions around us with the drought.
Yeah, because they aren't believers.
But then they still just deny that anyways, like deny the drought even happening.
Hmm.
I think they feel like it's their fault. Like they kind of know that like water's being pulled towards
Yeah.
them, but they think they deserve it because of what the mayor did.
Oh, okay.
But then they don't want to admit that they're causing pain to others, so they're kind of denying that.
All right. So it's just a whole town in denial.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But they somewhat know.
But they all think it's the charm causing this, but really it's the gem in the well that
Not in
the
the well,
assistant.
not in the well. We are
Oh, sorry.
on top of the
Yes,
hill.
not in the well, on top of the hill. And so,
If they do digging, then it's just gonna be phrased about how the mayor has came back with an amulet of
yes,
obscure gods. Give it like a random obscure god, like not one of the major ones. So it
yeah,
sounds a little bit more suspicious.
just some small god that really wouldn't have that much power.
Yeah, and it's like if they got a religion check, it's like you know that this god is just a very minor god that's not even about harvest or water.
Yeah.
That kind of like obscureness where it's like, oh, that sounds sketchy.
Mhm.
Then they could try to investigate the mayor. He is purely truthful, has no idea.
Yeah.
He truly believes that the god has done this.
Yes. And that the drought in all of the land around them could not possibly have been caused by them having a little more water.
Okay, so what is the event or the information that reveals no it is actually the gem, like a gem was brought back that causes this?
No one pays attention to the assistant. How do we do this?
I don't know. We're trying to set up like a switch around.
I know. I mean, it could be a moment where the assistant is sick and tired of being ignored. And when everyone confronts the mayor and she's like, you're causing this, everything you've done is causing all of this strife for everyone else around you. And, like, you brought back this charm that's making the town prosperous and all this stuff. Like, they're giving him all the praise for it, but also accusing him. And the assistant could just have a full-on monologue moment, being like, "No, you fools! It wasn't him. It was me. I saved the town. It wasn't that paltry little charm." They could be a moment like that.
Oh, okay. So instead of bitterness towards the town that we were thinking of, oh, okay. Let's say like while they're investigating, like during one of the days, there's this huge just like speech or anything like that, and the mayor like talks about like the blessings that's upon this town and like how great the harvest is and how he is really and everyone quote unquote everyone has turned around and put the hard work into making sure that the harvest is good and bountiful this year.
Mhm.
And so then the assistant will then have that blow up that's like, you didn't do anything. I did.
Yeah.
And okay, how about during that speech, he uses his warlock powers
Ooh.
and like offs the mayor
Ooh.
and then just like does the villain monologue to the entire town. It's like, I'm the one who did it.
It's like, "I'm the one running this town anyway. You think this oaf could do
Yeah,
anything
all the
without
pain
me?"
and resentment and anger that's been
Yeah.
building up for X amount of
Oh.
years.
So, in reality, whether or not the party is there, I feel like this is going to happen.
Yes. But then you always have it set up so the party is there so they witness this.
Or maybe in talking to the mayor, the party causes, like, talking to him, asking questions, cause him to say a couple of things that would set off the assistant. Like,
I
make
think
him.
the every time that the assistant's around, like they could like roll checks, just like perception or something like that, to see like disdain face on and like a scoured face on the assistant, like off to the side or anything like that.
Like, you're a small scoff.
Yeah, stuff like that is just like you could like notice like the small things as the kid, like the idiot mayor is talking kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
And so then, okay, instead of a gem, we could have it where it's just like a shrine or an idol of the demon on top of the
Maybe.
hill, and the party could be chasing him because now he's an evil power who killed the mayor. And then they had the final fight, and then realize that like that idol is the one that's
Maybe he was running to it because it is the source of his power.
yeah, that kind
He
of
was
thing.
trying to get the closer he gets to it, maybe the stronger his attacks get,
Something
but
like
not
that.
terribly much because this is like level 1. Okay.
I think that could work, and also, like, the chase after him, he could, like, sick these are small villagers, so the town guards or watch aren't that tough, you know?
Right.
But he'd be like he's the one who has actual, like, influential power, so if he offs the mayor, there's a good chance that, like, the guards would still listen to him.
True.
I mean, not all of them, but maybe some would still do it.
Maybe a couple of them be like, "Well, I mean, he is the reason our town is prosperous, so we're gonna defend him."
Okay. I'm liking this
Or
so far. We kinda start off
or
really slow, but now I feel like we're just, like, speed running
yeah,
the
but I've got
entire
an
quest. Okay.
or he's bribed some of the guards. Like, he's got some of them on his side.
Whatever the
They
case,
they've been in on it the whole time. Anyway,
it's just a speed run or, like, not speed run, but, just a post block to slow them down slash have
yes.
other fights besides just the new mayor or the assistant, whatever. What was his name? You said before.
Ion.
Ion.
Yeah,
Uh
Ion Archer.
Yeah, it's just for, like, to slow the part down so they can't catch Ion
Mhm.
kind of thing, and so that he's guaranteed to make it to the top of the hill and so that they could have that final, like, meeting point.
Yeah,
And then they kill him, destroy the idol.
statue.
Water comes back to everywhere. All is good.
Yes. Town goes back to normal. Not overly prosperous, just normal prosperous. Maybe all the people wake up too.
Yeah, they would stop being influenced or anything like that.
Yeah, and stop being the creepy happy.
Are you satisfied with this kind of starting quest?
I'm satisfied with this quest.
It's kinda weird because we just made a quest that just so happened that they meet each other in the beginning. We just tossed
Yeah.
that in, but, I mean, I think that's what most starting quests are.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much.
I think this one is pretty much done. I am very proud of it.
I'm happy.
We were kinda stumbling in the beginning like usual,
I mean, that's how it goes. We stumble around until we,
but we
like,
found a
stumble upon
path,
something. Yeah.
and we got out of the forest.
Climbed a couple of hills, and then went back down a little bit.
Had to cross a creek,
Yeah.
a very
There's a
sweaty
bridge
creek.
somewhere. A very sweaty creek.
That's all I'm gonna see, like, water is now is just, like, demon sweat. Every time it rains, it's just a demon in the sky sweating.
Keep listening, folks. Maybe you'll hear the return of the sweat demon.
Yes, if you enjoyed that, if you made that, the start of your campaign, or I'm sure this could just work as a regular quest. If you put that into your campaign, let us know on Twitter at QuestBoardPod. And if you have your own campaign start idea or a quest board item, let us know on the same platform. I think with that, I wish you all a good night.
And happy questing.